Hi, everybody. So today is Tuesday. That means it's time for Theater Tuesday. And today my plans got a little bit changed from what I had announced on the calendar, but you got to be flexible these days. So I thought it would be fun to finally post my list of the most overrated musicals, Broadway shows. And it's gonna be pretty fun. And this is just my personal opinions. I already posted a bunch of months ago my underrated show list. So I'll put a link down to that if you want to check it out and see what you think and bring it on. I mean, the whole point of overrated means that it's highly rated by lots of people. So a lot of people are going to like these. And I don't necessarily dislike them. They all have their moments. They'll have their things that I understand why. They're beloved. They're just not my favorite. So let's talk about it. I have 11 on this list. First up on the list, I have Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. This, I think, is a very, very weak adaptation of this musical. I really enjoyed the movie. I think it's really funny and over the top. It's obviously not meant to be taken seriously, but there's only a couple of songs from the movie in this adaptation, and all of the new songs are really lame, and it's not a good adaptation. Next up, I have Matilda. There's lots to like about Matilda. It has some real bangers, some really good songs. It's great for kids, but it is way too long. This show drags, seriously. And in my opinion, they should get rid of everything with the escapologist plot. It doesn't add anything meaningful to the story. Everything you could learn from just a few lines of dialogue about Miss Honey, everything we already know. And it drags everything down. I would take out everything with the escapologists, but it does have some fun songs. So I understand why people love it so much. Next up, we have Mary Poppins. I do not enjoy this take on Mary Poppins, aside from the original stuff in Mary Poppins, and usually has some pretty good dancing and things like that. But I do not like the addition of Miss Andrews, the nanny. It completely changes Mr. Banks' arc into being this like wounded person, this person who's had trauma, instead of being this person who has to kind of learn and grow from his children in this way. And instead of being this person who has to learn and grow from this experience with his children and from Mary Poppins, I hate it. I hate all the new songs. It's not for me. Next, I have Anastasia. I just don't understand what they were doing with this. I understand that they were wanting to make it more serious. I understand that they wanted to take out some of the silliness of the original animated film, but they overcorrected. They made it boring. They made it that they took out Rasputin, who at least has some personality, and Dark of the Night is like a really good song. And Dark of the Night is a really catchy song, and they just replaced it with this general who is so boring and not interesting as a villain, no charisma, no personality, and I just found it very dull and underwhelming. Next up, I have SpongeBob the Musical. People have really oversold this one to me, and it does have some visual aesthetic that I like. When I've seen it twice. And recreating Bikini Bottom was fun, but I found it to not be funny. Like, I was expecting it to be a riot. The show's pretty funny, and they chose this sort of apocalyptic approach, and everything. At least full times I've seen it, was taken pretty seriously, and to me, it wasn't fun. It wasn't funny. And so that was a disappointment. Next, I have Romeo and Juliet, which seems crazy, I know. But as far as Shakespeare, it's my least favorite of the ones that I have seen. I just don't love it. I like the inspirations that it created, like West Side Story, way better than the actual play. So, it can't really be overrated because it was super influential and important, but it's my least favorite Shakespeare that I've seen. Next, I have Hello Dolly. I just don't really love this story. It's not my favorite, and it has some fun songs. I've seen it staged in interesting ways, but it's pretty bland to me. I just don't love it. And I would rather see almost any other show from that era than Hello Dolly. And I would just rather watch Wally. I think Wally does Hello Dolly better than Hello Dolly does Hello Dolly. Then next up, I have The Fantastics. I've seen this 3 times. I just don't love it. I don't love the story. I mean, Try to Remember is an amazing song, but I don't think any of the other songs are memorable or that good. And I don't love it. Then next I have Six. I know this is super popular. People love it. I just didn't really get it. It's very short. There's no plot. It's just this sort of concert experience with these queens. But I don't know. I just felt like I was watching like a teeny bopper kind of concert. I wasn't watching a Broadway musical. And I just was underwhelmed by it. I didn't think it was that great. I didn't think any of the songs were like on a Hamilton level, that's for sure. And so no, I didn't care for Six. And finally, most overrated show, I have to go with Into the Woods. I've seen it many, 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 many times, and I understand why people that love it love it. I just don't think the subversion really works. I don't think it's effective. I don't think it teaches me anything that's so significant that the actual stories of these fairy tales actually teach. I think I get more from the hope that Cinderella, for instance, provides than I do from this, like, she doesn't end up with the prince, and like happy endings don't always come true, and that's okay. Yeah, of course it is. We all know that. I don't know. I don't think any of the songs, I don't think that many of the songs are that memorable. I do like Agony. I do like No One Is Alone. There are some good songs, but I just don't love Into the Woods. And I know a lot of people love it. It's not my favorite. So there we go. Let me know what your picks are for most overrated Broadway musicals and plays. I would love to hear in the comments section or on Twitter, and check out my entire playlist with all of my Theater Tuesday content. I would really, really appreciate it. I'm super proud of the series. This is the 30th episode of Theater Tuesday, so I'm very proud of that. I've been doing it for 30 weeks. And so yeah, let me know what you think. And please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd very much appreciate it. And check out my reviews at rachelsreviewstheater.com. And also all over social media, Rachel's Reviews. And make sure you're following Hallmarkies podcast right now. We got tons of coverage, especially in this next week with Thanksgiving week. So please take a look at that. And then also we have the Patreon group and merch store. The Patreon group is the best way you can support me. So thank you so much for looking into that. And also you have some really awesome perks if you do. And then we have the merch store where you get I'm a Theater Girl shirts and other fun designs. So please take a look at that. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.